My dear friends, today on the auspicious occasion of Swami Vivekananda's 157th birth anniversary, I have made a video in order to share with you some amazing facts about Swamiji, who is considered to be the youth icon of the nation. Swami Vivekananda, 82, holds a brighter place among the makers of modern India. He was one of the greatest patriots to have ever been born in this country. Considering the relevance of his life and his message, which are a perennial source of inspiration to the youth, the government of India declared his birthday as the National Youth Day in 1984, and since 1985 the event is celebrated in India every year, that is 12th of January, as the National Youth Day. He was deeply concerned by the condition of our motherland, but at the same time, he was certain about her resurgence. He had great hope in the youth of our country and exhorted them to work for the upliftment of our nation. This video is a humble offering to the youth of our country to inspire and help them to grow into enlightened citizens and work for the regeneration of our motherland, to usher in a new India whose glory would first surpass her past glories as envisioned by Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji had abundant love for our motherland, India. Only when we love our country, we can love the people who inhabit in our motherland. He used to say that love for the motherland strengthens our love for the universe. Spirit of patriotism should give rise to spirit of our universalism. So dear friends, let's go on an informative tour on the great son of our country, Swami Vivekananda.
Be patriots. Love the race which has done such great things for us in the past. The more I compare notes, the more I love you, my fellow countrymen. You have always been tyrannized over, and such is the irony of this material world of Maya. Never mind that. The spirit will triumph in the long run. In the meanwhile, let us work and let us not abuse our country.
But Swamiji, a monk should have no particular attachment to his country. Instead, he should view all countries as his own.
He who fails to love and support his own mother, how can he provide sustenance for another's mother? According to Swamiji, everyone, even the sannyasis, should love their motherland. How can he, who cannot love his own country, embrace the world? Patriotism first, then universalism.
Swami, how do you like now your motherland after 4 years' experience of the luxurious, glorious, powerful West?
India I loved before I came away. Now the very dust of India has become holy to me. The very air is now to me holy. It is now the Holy Land, the place of pilgrimage, the Tirtha. Should India die, then from the world all spirituality will be extinct, all moral perfection will be extinct, all sweet-souled sympathy for religion will be extinct, all ideality will be extinct, and in its place will reign the duality of lust and luxury as the male and female deities, with money as its priest, fraud, force and competition its ceremonies, and the human soul its sacrifice. Such a thing can never be.
Swamiji laid stress on meditation as it helps us to remain focused at our work and ensures peace of mind.
Little Naren was fond of playing meditation. Though it was a play, it awakened in him deep spiritual emotions. His friends would find him quietly sitting for a long time, absorbed. So deep was this absorption that sometimes he had to be shaken from it back to the normal condition of a child. And sometimes it grew more and more difficult to rouse him on such occasions. The boys of the neighborhood sometimes joined him in this pastime. One evening, when the crescent moon was in the sky and they had seated themselves in meditation posture in the worship hall,
there's a cobra! Run! Run! Naren, get up! There's a cobra near you! Naren, come out!
but there was no response. So they ran to his father and Kaka, who came in haste. What horror was theirs when they saw a cobra with its hood spread, as if strangely fascinated. They were afraid to call out, lest they disturb the snake and provoke it to strike. Then suddenly it glided away, and a moment later it was nowhere to be found. As soon as the cobra had left, Naren's father and Kaka ran and hugged Narendra.
Why did you not run away?
I was unaware of what was going around. I was feeling inexpressible bliss.
Meditation is the focusing of the mind on some object. If the mind acquires concentration on one object, it can be so concentrated on any object whatsoever. The greatest thing is meditation. It is the nearest approach to spiritual life, the mind meditating. It is the one moment in our daily life that we are not material, the soul thinking of itself, free from all matter, this marvelous touch of the soul.
Dear friends, now let's explore the famous speech of Swamiji on September 11, 1893 in United States of America, which made him an overnight celebrity all over the globe.
Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions, and I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth. I will quote to you, brethren, a few lines from a hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest boyhood, which is every day repeated by millions of human beings. As the different streams, having their sources in different places, all mingle their water in the sea, so, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to Thee. From the high spiritual flights of the Vedanta philosophy, of which the latest discoveries of science seem like echoes, to the low ideas of idolatry, with its multifarious mythology, the agnosticism of the Buddhists, and the atheism of the Jains, each and all have a place in the Hindu's religion. If the Parliament of Religions has shown anything to the world, it is this. It has proved to the world that holiness, purity and charity are not the exclusive possessions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women of the most exalted character. In the face of this evidence, if anybody dreams of the exclusive survival of his own religion and the destruction of the others, I pity him from the bottom of my heart and point out to him that upon the banner of every religion will soon be written, in spite of resistance, help and not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension.
Thus, shaking the West with spiritual ideas and laying there a strong foundation of Vedanta, Swami Vivekananda made a triumphal return to India in 1897. He was welcomed by the whole nation, and wherever he went, multitudes gathered to get one glimpse of their hero. He gave inspiring lectures throughout and roused the nation once again. On reaching Calcutta, he formed an organization in his master's name, Ramakrishna Mission, for the liberation of the self and for the good of the world.
Swamiji's love for the motherland and the people of our country was immeasurable. He had a vision for India, the vision of resurgence and glorious milestones.
Swami Vivekananda was truly fearless. At the same time, he was deeply compassionate. His love and compassion for his countrymen was fully awakened as he travelled across the country. He travelled the length and breadth of India as a wandering monk. He wanted to see how the people lived. India is a big country. It is the home of many different kinds of people. Swamiji wanted to see them all. He walked amidst the snow-clad Himalayan mountains down to the plains. He passed through many holy cities. He saw many historical sites. He crossed the deserts. He stayed with the kings and with the cobblers, ate what chance brought. Wherever he went, he saw that the nation was sinking in the depths of poverty and starvation. The masses were leading a life of lethargy. He saw the misery of people. They had lost their courage and had no faith in themselves. They were crushed and helpless. When Swamiji saw this, he wept. He thought of how great India had been in the past. He thought of great saints and sages. He wept to see how low that nation had fallen. He spent many sleepless nights thinking how his country could become great again. Thinking thus and walking, he finally reached the tip of India, Kanyakumari. He swam through the dashing waves and reached the rock on which he sat. Sitting on this rock, looking at his beloved motherland, he wept again to think of the misery of his countrymen.
Lord, what shall I do? Help me, guide me.
Swamiji went into deep meditation. He meditated for 3 days and finally discovered what had to be done. A Parliament of Religions was to be held in America, in the city of Chicago. Leaders of all the different religions of the world were going to participate.
On the last bit of Indian rock, I hit upon a plan. I will go there. I will tell them about the ancient religion of India. I will tell them what I know, and I will learn from them the things that they know. Our people have lost faith in themselves. I will bring back that faith to them. Now I go, but when I return, I shall awaken the sleeping millions. On 31st May 1893, Swami Vivekananda sailed for America.
During his wandering days, Swamiji both learnt and taught. He wanted Hindus to avoid both the outmoded orthodoxy, still advocated by fanatical leaders, and the misguided rationalism of the westernized reformers. He was struck by the essential cultural unity of India, in spite of the endless diversity of form. And the people who came to know him saw in him the conscience of India, her unity, and her destiny. During this period, Swamiji felt within him a boundless energy seeking channels for expression. The regeneration of India was uppermost in his mind. A reawakened India could, in her turn, help the world at large. He wanted the Hindus to cultivate self-confidence. Appreciation of India's spiritual culture by the prosperous and powerful West, he thought, might give the Hindus confidence in their own heritage.
Swamiji explained to a king with his own portrait how there is spirit behind image worship in India. Let's watch.
Well, Swamiji Maharaj, I have no faith in idol worship. I really cannot worship wood, earth, stone, or metal like others. What do you say?
Whose painting is this?
It is our Maharaja.
Spit on it. Any one of you may spit on it. What is it but a piece of paper? What objection can you have against doing so? Spit on it, I say. Spit on it.
What, Swamiji? What are you asking me to do? This is the likeness of our Maharaja. How can I do such a thing?
Be it so, but the Maharaja is not bodily present in this painting. This is only a piece of paper. And yet, all of you refuse to spit on it? Because you see in this photo the shadow of the Maharaja. Indeed, in spitting on the photo, you feel that you insult your master, the Maharaja himself. See, Your Highness, though this is not you in one sense, in another sense it is. Your servants see you in it. Therefore, they look at it with as much respect as they would have in looking at you. Same is the case with the devotees who worship God in images. It is because an image brings to their minds their Ishta and helps them to concentrate. I have travelled in many places, but nowhere have I found a single Hindu worshipping an image, saying, "O stone, I worship thee. O metal, be merciful to me." Every one Maharaja is worshipping the same one God, who is the Supreme Spirit, the soul of pure knowledge. And God appears to all according to their understanding and their representation of Him.
Diwanji, never have I come across such a great soul. Make him stay with you for some time.
Two sorts of persons never require any image: the human animal, who never thinks of any religion, and the perfected being, who has passed through these stages. Between these 2 points, all of us require some sort of ideal, outside and inside. It has become a trite saying that idolatry is wrong, and every man swallows it at the present time without questioning. I once thought so, and to pay the penalty of that, I had to learn my lesson sitting at the feet of a man who realized everything through idols. I allude to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. If such Ramakrishna Paramahamsas are produced by idol worship, what will you have? The Reformers' Creed or any number of idols? I want an answer. Take 1,000 idols more if you can produce Ramakrishna Paramahamsas through idol worship, and may God speed you. Produce such noble natures by any means you can. Yet, idolatry is condemned. Why? Nobody knows.
In Chicago, 1894, John D. Rockefeller an American business magnate and philanthropist, met Swami Vivekananda. Mr. Rockefeller is widely considered the wealthiest American of all time, even today. He met Swamiji, who gave solution to Mr. Rockefeller for his disturbed state of mind and made him believe in the love of humanity.
John Rockefeller, the world's richest oil magnate, was passing through an agonizing phase of frustration and was contemplating suicide. One of his friends suggested him to meet an Indian yogi to get back his peace of mind. Rockefeller was not very confident that the Indian yogi might be able to solve his problem, but he still went to meet the yogi. Rockefeller presses the bell and a butler opens the door. The butler ushered him into the living room. Not waiting to be announced, Rockefeller entered into Swamiji's adjoining study. He was surprised to see that Swamiji, behind his writing table, did not even lift his eyes to see who had entered. Rockefeller introduced himself arrogantly as Swamiji questioned him on the purpose of his visit. Swamiji told Rockefeller much about his past that was not known to anyone but Rockefeller himself.
The money you have already accumulated is not really yours. You are only a channel. God has given you all this wealth so that you may have an opportunity to help and do good to people.
How dare he talk like this and tell me what I should do?
But about a week later, again, without being announced, Rockefeller entered Swamiji's study. Finding him the same as before, Rockefeller threw on Swamiji's desk a paper. Swamiji didn't even lift his eyes. He did not move. Then, taking the paper, he quietly read it, which told of his plans to donate an enormous sum of money towards the financing of a public institution.
Well, there you are. You must be satisfied now, and you can thank me for it.
It is for you to thank me.
That was all. This was Rockefeller's first large donation to public welfare.
This life is very short. The vanities of the world are transient, but they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive.
Swamiji's love for humanity and his commitment to work for the betterment of humanity is the basic tenet of all his preachings. He said that service to human beings is the service to God. Dear friends, let's explore the thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna, who was the teacher of Swami Vivekananda. It was Sri Ramakrishna who taught Swami Vivekananda the basic principles of religion, which is service to humanity, is service to God.
One day, I found that my mind was soaring high in samadhi along a luminous path, ascending higher and higher till it reached a luminous barrier which separated the sphere of relative existence from that of the Absolute. Crossing that barrier, the mind entered the transcendental realm where no corporeal being was visible. The next moment, I found 7 venerable sages seated there in samadhi. It occurred to me that these sages must have surpassed not only men, but even the gods, in knowledge, holiness, in renunciation and love. I saw a portion of that undifferentiated luminous region condense into the form of a divine child who came to one of the sages, tenderly clasped his neck with his lovely little arms, and addressing him in a sweet voice, attempted to drag his mind down from the state of samadhi.
I am going to earth. You too must come with me.
The sage remained mute, but his tender look expressed his assent. As he kept gazing on the child, he was again immersed in samadhi. I was surprised to find that a fragment of the sage's body and mind was descending on earth in the form of an effulgent light. No sooner had I seen Naren than I recognized him to be that sage.
Subsequent inquiry elicited from Sri Ramakrishna the admission that the divine child was none other than himself.
I came to know that he, Narendra, was a sage who had attained perfection, a past master in meditation, and that the day he knew his real nature, he would give up the body through yoga by an act of will. If Keshav possesses one virtue which has made him world famous, Narendra is endowed with 18 such virtues. I have seen in Keshav and Vijay the divine light burning like a candle flame, but in Narendra it shines with the radiance of the sun.
Dear friends, on this auspicious occasion of Swamiji's 157th birthday, today let's take an oath to be together in our effort for nation building drive. We shall certainly shine with the radiance of Swamiji's ideas and principles. Let's pay homage to the great son of India and our sincere tribute to him. Jai Hind. Dear friends, if you have liked the video, please do subscribe to my channel, hit the like button and also press the bell icon for every notification of the new video that I upload on my channel, the name of which is Learning with a Difference. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.